Final day of the Atlas Cup here at USA Lacrosse, and we have reached the main event on the women's side. The US and Canada, the top two programs in the world, the last two champions of sixes at the World Games. They square off for the title. Coming up, it starts right now. From Tierney Field at USA Lacrosse headquarters in Sparks, Maryland, it is Championship Sunday at the Atlas Cup. Glenn Clark alongside the Hall of Famer Courtney Martinez-Connor. Courtney, this is what we've been waiting for all weekend. This is the good stuff. The US and Canada, the trophy is behind us. That's what they're playing for. What else could you ask for on a Sunday?
You know, both of these teams met about a month and a half ago at the World Games in Chengdu, China. Now they're here on home soil for Team USA. Team USA walked away with the gold, and they are looking for nothing less today. Canada wants to avenge that loss, so I expect a battle.
Every time these two countries play, you know that you're going to bring out the best in each other. That's what they do. This is a measuring stick game. And you start thinking about 2028 in the Olympics, every time you square off against the other country, it's an opportunity to start making a statement about who the best program is and who the team will be to beat in Los Angeles.
Each team trying to figure out who's going to still be with them come LA 2028. That's 3 years away. So you see a mix of veterans as well as young up-and-coming players and who meshes well.
It is going to be a treat this morning. It is good to be here for this one. We are glad to have you with us. The U.S. and Canada both playing 2 games so far this weekend, and both games largely blowouts against the Puerto Ricans and the Haudenosaunee. And Courtney, I feel like this is the thing. This is the moment. This is the one. You know this is what you wanted to do all weekend long. You've wanted to get this matchup with the trophy at stake. You're here. Now, how do you match the moment?
You know, it's all about winning each quarter. So you set up small, and then you got to look big picture, completing it each and every fourth quarter. Atlas Cup format, been round robin, so this is the championship. This is what everybody's been waiting for. Team USA versus Canada. It's the head-to-head matchup that's going to walk away with the trophy. Who's coming out with the win? Both teams 2-0 coming into this one. We see Sam Apuzzo out there. Jordan Dean for Canada, the U.S. in the blue shirts, the white numerals. Canada, the white shirts, the black shorts, the red numerals. U.S. will be moving from left to right, Canada from right to left here in this first quarter. Championship Sunday, so great to be here. Jordan Dean comes away with the draw for the Canadians, and they will have the ball first. I would assume, based on what happened in China, Courtney, that the U.S. has the upper hand right now. So if you're Canada, how important is it to come out and make an early statement in this one? You know, I think the offensive production is key for Canada. Their defense was pretty on par in China, but they weren't really connecting and clicking on the offensive end against Team USA. Every other game they played was on par. So that was something that head coach Sean Williams talked about. He's like, we just want to find chemistry on attack.
Marie McCool making an angle for herself. The U.S. on the board first. They lead 1-0. McCool's first today, her 6th of the weekend for the Moorestown, New Jersey native and the USA Lacrosse legend. Knocked away, picked up, taken by Macera. Macera 2-on-1 the other way. She gives it to McCool, and the U.S. is off to a hot start.
Team USA, their defense is unrelenting. They put a lot of pressure on you. They've forced some turnovers from Canada, and yet again,
Canada's all out of sorts right now. Walker Welch has it checked away, pushing Humphrey. She feeds, make it 3-0. Anna Brandt. The U.S. doing everything right now, Courtney.
You know, I'd say their defense has evolved so much since the start of them playing sixes. Initially, when you look at their roster, they have a majority of attackers, 6 on-field attackers, 4 midfielders in the traditional sport. Obviously, everybody plays both ways here, and they were getting picked on early at the World Games, but their defense has evolved so much. And you look at the possessions that they are able to get the ball back because of that pressure defense, getting caused turnovers. I've been super impressed with the selection of the coaching staff for Team USA.
What a dodge. What a finish. Izzy Skane. What an embarrassment of riches for Team USA. They've done all this weekend. They've scored 42, now make it 46 goals. That's just Izzy Skane's second. That's unbelievable.
You can pick your poison. There are so many players who have that capability to get to cage. And as Lindsay Monday said, head coach of Team USA, goal scorers come from attackers. And you have to be efficient in your scoring, but we need you to be a goal scorer, not just a shooter.
And finally, the Canadians get on the board. Annabelle Child scores after a 4-0 run to start the game for the U.S. We saw a great save in there for Dolce before. Oh, how about that nifty shovel look from Allie Kennedy? It's hard to even have time to describe anything right now, Courtney. That's how quick the U.S. is moving.
I look down to write down who scores, and then somebody else is getting on the board themselves.
Allie Kennedy, the 3-time All-American at Stony Brook, with her first today, 4th of the weekend. That's going to stay with Canada, new 30 to work with. But Canada's got to snap out of it a little bit here. Fight their way back into it. Maddie Baxter trying to split two defenders. Maybe trying to do a bit too much behind the play. Ground ball picked up, whirling through. Accordingly, can't get a clean shot off. Massero is starting to take it away. She has it checked out, but Mastriani picks it up, pushes it ahead. Izzy Skane, extra pass. Chloe Humphrey. It's just gorgeous lacrosse.
They don't give you a second to breathe. Team USA picks the ball up. They are so athletic, fast at every single spot. And then you look at the pressure that they apply, number one, on the offensive side, but two, it begins with their defense, whether it's Shea Dolce coming up with a save, starting the fast break quickly, or the defense pressuring, double team, and just getting onto the hands of their attackers. It just makes it hard to breathe if you're on offense.
Give and go, but Delana Williams hits the pipe, and the Canadians, head coach Sean Williams, wants a timeout because this is not going the way that it was drawn up here early on. 6-1, the U.S. out in front. I believe we should talk about, because we see how connected the U.S. team is. They have been in training camp here. They have had the opportunity to work throughout the course of the week. And when they've gotten together, obviously they spent time together in the summer, it's paying off all the time that they're spending together. They look very comfortable with each other.
You know, it matters. So prior to the World Games, they had a training camp out in LA for a few days, and then they were at the World Games for about 10 days. They had a training camp right before Sixes. Stark difference to Canada, who flew in on Thursday night to start playing on Friday.
Yep.
So not a lot of time. They had about 35, 40 minutes on Thursday night together, and then they immediately started play. So it does take time to build that chemistry. You need to make sure that you have enough time together, and that's evident for Team USA.
You saw the rosters there. Jordan Dean, our player to watch for Canada, who Sean Williams described as our biggest, strongest athlete on the team. Shea Dolce, our player to watch for Team USA, who's already made a couple of saves. Dolce coming into the weekend with 15 saves through one full game's worth of action split over 2 games that she's played in. Dodging back to her right, but not a free shot for Zizakovic. Thought that check might have come up a little bit high, but play on. U.S. gets it back. Chance to add to this 6-1 advantage.
You know, we haven't seen the walling call at all throughout this entire Atlas Cup. I actually thought that could have been called against Team USA on that last one. Izzy Skane was just parked right in front of that goal circle, which anytime you're impeding a shot to be taken by the opponent, the referees can call that walling. You get a penalty, you have to play a player down, but I thought Canada potentially had a shot, but as an attacker, you're not going to take it. It's all about safety, but I do think that's something we need to watch out for.
McCool was looking for a Puzo, throws away, but Dolce coming up with another save. Shea Dolce has just become so phenomenal every step in her career, national level on top of what she's done collegiately at Boston College. Truly spectacular. Ball hits the turf again. It'll be scooped up by Macera, but down to 6 on the shot clock, which isn't something we've said much today for Team USA. It's going to go the other way and back to Canada.
And they're calling that ball was tipped by
Stay
Canada.
down here.
Back to Team USA.
That's the way it works. Yes, another possession from the opposite side. Macera gives it up, dumped in the middle, looking for Kennedy, and it'll come away to the goalie. Lauren Spence pulls it down for the Canadians. Lauren Spence, very familiar with this area from her time playing at Loyola, where she was a 2-time All-American. Now she's on the staff at Denver. She's allowed 14 goals this weekend, made 18 saves in the 2 games prior to this one. US is going to get it back.
You know, Canada hasn't been able to catch a break on the offensive end of the field. I just don't see quite as much movement on the attacking side for Canada. Team USA, the ball's not in anybody's stick for too long. Sparked that Izzy Skane, number 27 for Team USA. She has such a quick release. As soon as she caught the ball, she was already ready to move it, but then she realized nobody's on me. I have a powerful shot, and she got rid of that one quickly.
Izzy got some 6s experience, so a great cut, but no angle left for Child. Izzy got experience playing 6s last year at the USA Lacrosse Experience in Indy, and then, of course, in the WLL Championship Series this year, playing for the New York Charging. Everybody's excited about a full season of the WLL next year. For so many players, I think this weekend also an opportunity to show that you should be on one of those rosters. Great, no, oh my, what a feed, but it just wasn't held on to cleanly by Kent. She was open on the doorstep, an incredible pass. Kent just not able to hang on to it.
And that's another big difference. As soon as there was a shot clock violation,
gotta go.
For Team USA, exactly. Whereas Canada was just kind of looking at the ball, who wants to pick it up, who wants to go.
But not able to get a shot off in the closing seconds of the quarter, and a frustrating quarter for Team Canada. They come in expecting a battle, and instead they're behind 7-1 after 1. What a performance for the Americans. Does Canada have an answer? We'll find out next. You're watching the Atlas Cup.
Child picks up a lacrosse stick, they welcome the wonder of something new. They gain a community and the lasting friendships it creates. At USA Lacrosse, we believe the sport is an opportunity for families to create a lasting connection and make memories that last a lifetime. Catch the fun and bring a friend to pick up and play during National Celebrate Lacrosse Week this November. Head to usalacrosse.com/celebrate lacrosse to find a clinic near you.
7-1 Team USA in front of Canada as we begin the second quarter here at Tierney Field. Shea Dolce named the All-World team as Team USA won the gold at the U20 Championships last year. So she bumps up to the senior team, and all she's done is be named to the All-World team again at the 2025 World Games. She has proven that she is one of the top players in the world, and she's showing it again this weekend, Courtney.
That's right. Head coach Lindsay Monday for Team USA said Sixes is made for Shea. She doesn't shy away from a lot of shots being taken on her. She stands tall in cage, oftentimes set and ready to come up with those 1v nuns, and she's very active outside of the cage as well.
Jordan Dean thought she had a one-on-one opportunity, but the U.S. selling out defensively. Now Dean will get the one-on-one opportunity, and she beats Shea Dolce for her first of the game. 7-2, Jordan Dean's fourth goal of the weekend. The assistant coach at Army, three-time All-Atlantic 10 selection at UMass. On the opposite side, Kenzie Kent has it checked away by Peroni. U.S. able to hold on, and whoo! How about the heat on that shot? You know who that is. Charlotte North. It just sounds different when it comes off the stick of Charlotte North.
She has such a powerful shot. Annabelle Child getting goal number 2 on the board for her. She was such a bright spot for Canada at the World Games, led the team in points. Just kind of one of those super consistent players.
Charlotte North put on a show here last night, 7 goals in the win over Puerto Rico, 24-9 for Team USA.
Hold a second, 7 goals, would you believe 7 shots? 100%, 100% shooting.
The word that comes to mind is efficient.
Yes.
That's what comes to mind, 7 for 7, my word.
And I had talked about sixes being a humble sport. You have to be able to take the right shot, and that is a focus for Team USA. Coaching staff said we want to be efficient, which they are for the most part, just about every one of those attackers, aggressive and disciplined.
Dolce saves the shot from Peroni. That's 88 on 88 crime. How about that pass from Humphrey to Skane? Skane not able to get the shot off, but the U.S. gets the penalty and will be warming up. And it was, let's see.
Penalty on Canada. U.S. will be warming up.
It will be 30-second penalty. And the first warming up opportunity for the U.S. Massera drops it off to Skane. Skane moves it back behind to North. U.S. patient in this first warming up opportunity, trying to work, plenty of time, still 16 seconds. Extra pass to the opposite side, shot off the pipe for a Humphrey. It stays here.
I think the defense is doing a good job for Canada, having their stick in the passing lane, rotating around.
Saw targeting the corner, Skane not able to connect. And again, if you miss, it's just out of bounds and back to the other team. No run out, no closest, nothing like that. Just goes the other way. Erica Evans still serving the penalty. So it was a 1-minute penalty on Erica Evans. Canada still has to kill off the rest of that before they engage. Dump towards the middle, and it's going to be a turnover. Accordingly was the cutter. Pass doesn't connect. McCool pushing. McCool not going to force the issue. She'll operate back to X. Pass knocked down. And they're fighting for the ground ball is Massera. And it's going the other way. Standing by herself. Evans, one-on-one chance. Evans, oh, what a save by Dolce.
Did we not say that's Shea's specialty? The unsavable save, a 1v none.
That's exactly how Lindsay Monday put it, right? She said she makes the saves she should make and makes saves she shouldn't make as well. And it leads to a tally the other way for Anna Brandt. What a weekend it's been for Anna Brandt, the local from Whitehall, Maryland, played for the Bulls of Hereford High School. That's a great finish from Peroni, ripping it low to low, makes it 9-3. But Anna Brandt, who played here at Tierney Field in high school, Baltimore County Championship game back in 2019. She gets the late call into action because of injury to have a chance to play with the senior team this weekend. She's made the most of it for Anna Brandt. That's now 6 goals and 9 points on the weekend.
And that can be hard for a newcomer. Every single person on Team USA was with one another at Chengdu, China. She had to step into the role once Cassidy Weeks realized with her injury she was not going to be able to go forward. Anna Brandt got the call up. And she's been unafraid to shoot. It can be hard to jump in with a new group and kind of click and gel, and she's fit in perfectly. And I think that talks about Team USA. They have so many players who could be on this team and are ready and waiting in case their opportunity does arise.
All right, so Canada's outscored the U.S. 3-2 here in the second quarter. What have they done better here in this second, Courtney?
You know, I think they're attacking the cage much better. They're working as a unit, which you need to do on the offensive end. You have to have ball movement. You have to be moving your feet to change where you're attacking the cage from and just have options.
Timeout. U.S. ball, 15 on the shot clock. Mastriani gives it up to Chloe Humphrey. What a revelation Chloe Humphrey is. Oh, what a find. Kenzie Kent on the doorstep from Humphrey. Kent's first of the game. Humphrey's second assist. It's 10-4.
And the cross-post feed, you saw it developing as Chloe was going from one side of the goal to the other at X, which is right behind the cage. Her eyes were set. Kenzie knew exactly when and where to be. And those connections, they're created through play. The more time that you get together, the easier things come on the offensive end.
Maybe a little forced from Delana Williams on the other end. Ball seemed to die on her stick. Can't have that right now if you're Canada. You're trying to dig out of a big hole. You've got to make good decisions. Feed up to the top. Massera goes behind the back, and oh, nice save from Spence as Humphrey was trying to get a highlight reel goal. 1-on-3 the other way. Shot can be taken anyway for Courtney.
You know, great.
Courtney and I just made the same face towards each other.
Great job of getting back and stopping that fast break situation. Charlotte North, widely called the best attacker in the world, and she hustled back, slowed the transition offense of Aurora Courtney for Canada. And then a second defender came in for Team USA. And I'm just kind of surprised that Aurora didn't pull things out, wait for the rest of her teammates to get settled, and that way they could run an offense. So I think it's those decision makings that we're seeing from Canada right now just aren't of the highest quality.
Spence denies a Puzo's look inside, and now a shot from outside for Erica Evans. It was saved, so that triggers both the reset and keeps the ball with Canada. Under 2 minutes to play here in the second quarter. Canada has been better in the second, but they are not cutting into the sizable advantage for Team USA. Ball checked out. Great defense from Mastriani, getting it free from Peroni, of course. The other way, Chloe Humphrey. Humphrey dodging between three defenders, holds onto it and finishes. Come on.
U.S. goal number 1.
Tremendous stick handling capabilities and protection. Chloe Humphreys, as you notice, she just kept cradling, powering through the defenders. As you had mentioned, 3 of them, but you got to protect the stick, which is what she did. A lot of swings happening from Canada. Sometimes it's all about just holding your position on the defensive end.
Chloe Humphrey, I mean, has anyone in the world had a better year than Chloe Humphrey has had? Tewaaraton winner, NCAA champion, NCAA tournament MVP, 90 goals, the most all-time by a freshman, the most in a single season in North Carolina history, then follows it up with Pala gold, World Games gold, and now playing here this weekend at the Atlas Cup, where they are on their way towards an Atlas Cup trophy. My God, what a year it's been for Chloe Humphrey.
You know, I think her eyes are set on LA 28, right? Because you look at the youth, you see what's coming up through your program. Each and every country who was here at the Atlas Cup, Haudenosaunee, Puerto Rico, Canada, USA, you want to compete now, but you also have to kind of know what's coming down the path.
Yep.
Who may be retiring? Who may be aging out? Who are we going to be relying on in the future?
Yeah, I think you can count on Chloe Humphrey being a part of that conversation.
Absolutely.
I'm not going to speak for Lindsay Monday. She can make, but I think we can count on that. And a save for Dolce as she kicks aside that look from Courtney. Picked up, going the other way. Mastriani back to the middle. And McCool with the dodge and the finish off the feed from Skane. McCool's got the hat trick. 12 for U.S. side, laying out. Walker Welch. It just seems like Canada is forcing things right now, Courtney.
They have a lot of time on the shot clock, and they're just happy just to get a shot off as opposed to the best, most efficient look. I think their discipline is lacking right now on the offensive end.
Humphrey, oh, what a find. Humphrey draws the double. Macera is standing on the doorstep. First of the game for Macera. Last couple of seconds of the quarter. And scooped in from the seat of her pants, Delana Williams as time expires. Count it. Ball just laying on the turf. Delana Williams pushes it into the net. And that's how the first half comes to a close. So a nice moment there for Canada, but it's still 13-5 at the break. They have a lot of work to do if they're going to fight their way into this one. We've got stats, highlights, and Foss coming up here at the half. You are watching Day 3 of the Atlas Cup.
Player knows the skills you learn on the field can be the foundation for anything you choose to do in life.
Thank you for connecting me to a greater community.
We're growing beyond goals on the field.
And our futures are united.
So thank you, Lacrosse.
For inspiring me to be me.
We are better,
Safer,
and wiser together.
and we're building a stronger future
For everyone.
13-5, the U.S. in front of Canada here at the half. Glenn Clark, Courtney Martinez, Connor with you. We're going to head down to the sideline and Foss in just a couple of seconds. Courtney, the U.S. darted out. I mean, wasted no time opening up a big lead in this one. They have not looked back. They have been the better side by far to this point.
They were ready for a battle today, and they showed that they are battle-tested, and they are coming out on top with their disciplined play. They are getting their hands free on the offensive end, but they are tough and stingy on defense as well.
You see, on top of everything else, 11 saves for Shea Dolce in the first half, making life miserable for Canada. They have been efficient. 13 of 20 for Team USA shooting in the first half. This is a neat moment, as right now being recognized on the field, the members of last year's World Box Lacrosse Championship team. Courtney is Team USA making a statement in a new version of lacrosse. We talk about this discipline, the sixes, but the box discipline, obviously one that has been dominated by the Canadians over the years. Team USA getting involved at the box level, and the players involved with that, including some that are on the field right now for this team, are being recognized on the field here at the half.
And what's impressive with that, as you had mentioned, Canada, known for their box lacrosse, Team USA put a lot of time and effort into building a team, having training camps leading into the box championship last fall. And we see Taylor Marino joining them out there right now. So 4 players on the sixes team, also on box championship. But this group did something that I think nobody expected, especially after Canada won the sixes at the World Games in 2022. USA said, we got to change things. We got to fix what we're doing, and we need to evolve. And they did that. They started it with box lacrosse. They did it again at World Games this summer. And what they're doing is heading in the right direction, especially leading into what the Olympics have for us in the future, LA 2028.
The U.S. defeating Canada in the inaugural championship game of the World Box Lacrosse Championships last year in Utica, New York. And you see those players and that staff being recognized right now, making history, winners of the first ever Box World Championships last year. very cool moment. And as you point out, Ali Mastriani part of that, and Charlotte North, of course, part of that. And now they're darting back over to the sideline. They got to get ready for the second half. Allie Kennedy as well. And Taylor Moreno, you pointed out, all part of that World Box Championship roster. Let's take a look at our first half highlights, Courtney. And boy, it was all U.S. early on in this one.
Team USA scoring the first goal with Marie McCool. And then not just there, but they continued on with their prowess, making it a 7-1 first quarter. Team USA just seemed like they could not be stopped on the offensive end. Chloe Humphrey leading the way. And then in goal, Shea Dolce with a lot of stops.
We got to go to Foss, who's going to tell us more about lacrosse.
What's up, me? What is going on, Foss here? I just had a quick chat with Monday and just asked how it felt. She said they are super focused and ready for this game. It is the Canadian game. It's one that everyone waits for, but the team is focused and ready for it. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Foss, and they have looked focused and ready, to say the least, over the course of the first half. They have been as sharp as we have seen. And obviously, this is the #1 ranked country in the world at the moment, but they've looked even better, Courtney. Like, they look dominant right now. You got to keep it up. You can't let your guard down. But this is as good as we've seen USA Lacrosse look in recent history as they've been winning championships.
They're moving the ball. You know, that's so very important. We got Dean winning the third draw for Canada.
And Taylor Moreno into the game, but she's not going to come up with that one. Taylor Moreno making her first appearance today. Erica Evans beats her for her first of the game and her 7th of the weekend. Taylor Moreno has played halves in both games, allowed 9 goals, made 12 saves through her first 2 games action. Getting in front, shot not on target. Boy, you don't see that much. Charlotte North missed a shot. Stop the presses.
You don't see it often, and you haven't seen a lot of unassisted goals from Team USA.
True.
They have been moving the ball quickly. It's not dying in any one person's stick, which I think has been a problem for Canada. They move it well, and they share it, and that's one of the keys and focuses for Team USA. They have a lot of shooters. They have people that can score, but you have to want to give the ball up for what the best opportunity is and not just an okay one.
Backhanded shot not on target for Zizakovic. And one of the storylines we should maybe talk about with Moreno into the game, we still do not know definitively what the roster size is going to be for the Olympics. There have been some rumblings that perhaps it's not going to be 12, it's going to be 11. We see purposefully, and Sean Williams told us, as that works inside, and there's a great finish for Anna Brandt again. 2nd of the game for Brandt. Makes it 14-6, but Sean Williams told us Canada purposely only brought 1 goalie, Lauren Spence, with them because they're preparing for the possibility of it only being 11-player rosters, in which case there's probably only going to be 1 goalie on that roster in the Olympics. And so could be quite the competition to get that goalie spot in 2028. Moreno makes the save.
And any team who would bring 2 goalies, I think back to when I played U.S., and would you believe the outdoor, there were just 15 players. 15 players. So basically it was 3 subs, because that was back when it was 12v12 as opposed to the 10v10 that you see now. But 3 subs, and 1 was always a goalie. So we knew that there were just 2 subs for Team USA. That's just how we did it. Other countries electing to take 3 field players instead. And what's the strategy going to be?
The penalty, it's a green card that comes out. And so it'll be a woman-up opportunity for Team USA. And this is the question, right? Like, do you have someone in your program that's a field player that has goalie experience at some point, that if you're dealing with an 11-player roster, you can say, okay, they're our backup goalie. And you're not going to have it can't be a Taylor Moreno or a Shea Dolce in that spot, but is there someone on the roster that's done it at some level somewhere before that becomes more valuable and can earn a roster spot because they could also be your emergency goalie?
You know, Sean Williams did address that, and he said we do have some people who've played goalie before. He didn't name names because I would be so curious to find out who that might be.
rifle of a shot from Charlotte North, saved by Spence. But then on the other side, Taylor Moreno says one good turn deserves another. Goalies stepping up here in quarter number 3.
Brooklyn Walker-Welch coming up with that rebound, that new shot clock. That's one of those prime examples. Maddie Baxter took a shot. She had an open teammate, Brooklyn Walker-Welch, on the crease, the doorstep, but they're just not doing that one more, that extra that we see coming from Team USA. Canada could take a page out of their book.
Canada having to settle for a late shot from Erica Evans. The point of that is they wanted to kill off the rest of the green card, and oh, that is so good. Kenzie Kent. That's a few times this afternoon or this morning that we have seen Kenzie Kent get to the opposite side of the crease. Second goal of the game.
And oftentimes coming from the hands of Chloe Humphrey, that we just saw the two of them give a huge hug to one another. They have a connection.
You draw the extra attention as the green card's going to come out this time on Skane. So she'll come over and serve the penalty. But Chloe Humphrey, the attention is coming to her for good reason. They're sliding to Chloe Humphrey because she scored 90 goals this year. And so when that happens, Kenzie Kent is saying, okay, you got help. I'll be waiting for it. She's put the last couple home. 15-6. Woman up for Canada. Towards the middle, knocked away, was looking for Erica Evans. Instead picked up by Kennedy, 1-on-2 the other way. She takes a shot and scores. The audacity of that, Courtney.
Not only does she score, but she does it with 2 defenders on her.
And woman down on top of everything.
And then Taylor Marino coming up with a stop.
Second goal of the game for Allie Kennedy. It's 16-6. We've moved past the midway point of this third quarter. Team USA firing on all cylinders. Shot wide from Massera. Goes back to Canada, but they have just not been able to get things going at any point this afternoon. They've had moments, but they haven't been able to string any of them together. Dean swings it wide. This is a Kovic from outside.
Those aren't going to fall, no.
You're just settling.
It's just passing the ball to Taylor Marino. You got to be a sharper shooter, and you need to do it from a bit closer. And remember, they're getting shots day in, day out from a Charlotte North, from an Allie Kennedy.
Ooh, that is painful. Izzy Skane from outside had a ton of heat on this shot, and boy, that's no fun whatsoever. The good news is Maddie Baxter is up quickly and appears to be okay. Gets a nice hand from the other side. Maddie Baxter from Whitby, Ontario, by way of the Hill Academy, was part of the World Championship field roster that won silver in nearby Towson, Maryland back in 2022. So this is going to be a 2-minute penalty on Skane for the dangerous shot. And so here's a chance for Canada. You get an opportunity to try to find some life out of this timeout and see if you can't put something together. It's going to be very difficult to fight your way back into this game, but any path to it would have to involve converting here.
2 straight minutes of having an extra player on the field, a 5v4 for Canada. Izzy Skane, as she takes a seat in the penalty box, she is not going to be allowed to come back into the game. The red cards, they are dished to dispel any dangerous situations, and that shot did hit a Canadian player, Maddie Baxter. The good thing is she's wearing goggles.
Right.
And as I see her on the sideline before she was getting tended to, the goggles took a brunt of that.
Okay.
So there's no goose egg on her forehead. The protective equipment did its job, and she just took a sip of water, and she is ready to go. So that's a positive thing.
Sean Williams told us this week about Maddie Baxter on both ends of the field. She brings out athleticism and grit. And you can see that grit in this moment. Works through to Delana Williams. Delana Williams cashes it in. Woman up goal. second of the game for Delana Williams. She had that sweep at the end of the second quarter. Cuts it to 16-7. So now, walk me through this. If you're the U.S., you're down a player. Are you just content to run 30 seconds off the clock, or are you just going to continue to be aggressive?
You know, they can run that time off the clock. They're capable of scoring player down. We've seen it earlier.
Trying to find McCool. Pass doesn't connect. They will run off at least the 30. It takes 30 seconds out of the penalty, limits how much damage Canada can do during the course of the penalty. Up top, Peroni. Peroni to the near side. Williams again. Williams is heating up. Hat trick for Delana Williams.
On the assist, 88, Nicole Peroni.
But if you notice, Canada's moving the ball now, right? It's not dying in any particular player stick. They're not taking shots from too far out. They're being smarter with their offense.
16-8 for Delana Williams, wearing that ever so familiar number 51. Sean's daughter, Dyson's sister, and a nice check, getting the ball out. Nope. I thought Chevrolet came up with it cleanly. Instead, she's being hit with the green card. And that's killer for Canada, who had gotten 2 goals already in this prolonged penalty, a chance to maybe get the ball back and get one more before the penalty comes up. Instead, going to be back to even strength, 5-on-5 here.
That's a tough break. Team USA had already started to drop back defensively. They didn't realize that a foul had been committed. As you had mentioned, number 21 for Canada, Bianca Chevrolet, an incredible defender.
Oh, what a find. No dunk home. I thought Kenzie Kent was going to have that for sure. Instead, it goes back the way of Canada. So the U.S. penalty getting ready to come up. It will not be Izzy Skane coming back on, as you pointed out. She gets the red card, so she's done. Instead, Massera was the one that was going to serve it. Canada gets a couple of goals, and Zizakovic will sneak that through. Shoots low. She's got her first of the game, and Canada strung together 3 straight goals to cut it to 16-9. Final minute of the third, closing seconds. See if the U.S. can get a response here before the quarter is over. From up top, Brandt. Brandt to the opposite side of McCool. McCool's shot impacted, but gets through anyway. Intercepted. Is there one more to be had? No, pops out of the stick of Chloe Humphrey, and that's how the quarter comes to a close. The U.S. has an 8-goal advantage after 3, 1 quarter away from hoisting the Atlas Cup. We are with you here on the USA Lacrosse YouTube channel.
They could see themselves play, and then we can correct it and then bring those corrections to the field. That's every coach's dream.
Marie McCool gets her 4th goal of the game in the final minute. The U.S. takes a 17-9 lead to the 4th quarter. Marie McCool, of course, very experienced, former Tewaaraton winner, won gold at the World Championships in 2022. Participated with the USA Lacrosse Experience event in Indy last year, and obviously the World Games this summer. Just a steady force for Team USA.
Would you believe that this is her 10th year with Team USA? She started it when playing for Team USA, putting on the red, white, and blue when she was a college player at UNC. Now she's an assistant coach at her alma mater, and she says she always takes pride in the moment of wearing the jersey, whether it's the 100th time, the 5th, or the 1st. It just never gets old, and she does not want to take anything for granted. She's not ruled out continuing on for LA 2028, and if you look at her fitness level and her tenaciousness on the field, I think she could do it.
And I think her experience would be something very beneficial to that Olympic team. Marie McCool, also a little bit of trivia here. She's the only player in all of lacrosse to have ever won 2 gold medals at the World Games, because she was also part of the 2017 team that won gold. USA with it to start the 4th quarter from outside Charlotte North, trying to deliver the Charlotte North specialty. That one just wide. Canada gets it back. It was a dominant first quarter for Team USA. It has been much more even since then, Courtney, but Canada has just not been able to break through. They did put together 3 straight goals there late in the second quarter. Wonder if the McCool goal was back-breaking after they had built up some momentum as Williams' shot goes wide.
They were able to string 3 goals together because they were a player up for 2 straight minutes. You have to mention Izzy Skane for Team USA receiving a red card, so we will not see her for the remainder of the time. That is less players. Obviously, Team USA, 2 of their 12 are goalies.
Mastriani, not on target.
So at this point, Team USA has just 9 field players that they are cycling through, whereas Canada has 11. So you should have some fresher legs out on the field. That's, again, another positive for the team in white.
Works back behind to Jordan Dean. Dean scoops it off the pipe, plucked out of the air. Macera trying to take it the other way. In some trouble. You only have 10 seconds to clear. He picked up by Mastriani with a second to spare. Humphrey, the fake. Getting a piece of it spent, so it stays with Team USA. Chloe Humphrey. One of the cool storylines, Chloe Humphrey and Shea Dolce, who we saw in the first half, both from Darien, Connecticut, and they were roommates this summer at the World Games, connecting, vibing, grew up together, a year apart, but amazing for those 2 lacrosse lifers from the same hometown to now be putting on the red, white, and blue, playing together on the international level. Really special thing, the 2 of them to be able to share this year.
A lot of connections from the collegiate level all the way into their respective countries. Bianca Chevry, Maddie Baxter, teammates at Syracuse, playing for Canada. A lot of UNC connections. Stony Brook. You have Allie Kennedy as well as Ellie Macera. Boston College. Could just go on and on.
That was special. Humphrey finds the cutting Kennedy. Kennedy joins the hat trick party, and her 3rd of the game makes it 18-9 Team USA. Boy, what a weekend for Team USA. Canada, of course, getting ready, preparing to host the Super Sixes in a couple of weeks, as Moreno stops that shot from Peroni. What is it that Canada's going to need to focus on now coming out of this, Courtney?
This is the 4th quarter. There's less than 5 minutes to go. They have to double their offensive output, so they need to start attacking and doing it quickly.
Admittedly, I was thinking maybe moving forward from this. I get that there's time.
There's time. Hey, you're telling me there's a chance.
I guess.
There's 5 minutes, right? There's always a chance.
It would be tough in field lacrosse to do this when you can play make it, take it. When you can't play make it, take it, it's almost impossible.
Mm-hmm.
Almost.
That's what I like about sixes. Every possession, about every 30 seconds, it's back and forth. They need to start applying some pressure here defensively, not letting Team USA score. And actually, the last few possessions we've seen from Team USA, a little bit more holding of the ball, not what we saw in the first 3 quarters. That can play into helping Canada.
Let me ask bigger picture. What do you think right now the biggest difference between where Team USA is and where Canada is, combining the World Games, what looks like it's going to be a lopsided result here today? What is the biggest difference, and how does Canada close the gap?
I think the level of commitment that we're seeing from Team USA, putting a lot of time into having training camps, that's important. Obviously, this is a different roster than what Canada had when they won the World Games back in 2022. But you have to go to the drawing board, and what is it offensively that we're doing that's not producing goals? Team USA deciding to bring more offensive players a little bit different. Brooklyn Walker-Welch, she's very defensive-minded, but has shown that she can score on the offensive side. You need more athleticism, in my mind. So you need to have the X's and O's down, but you need some more athleticism, speed, and then those players who are going to play unselfish and just put some points on the board.
Whew, what an outlet pass, but Moreno, an even better save. Courtney was by herself. Moreno kicks it aside. Spinning out, Marie McCool. U.S. can work on the clock now as we move past the midway point of this fourth quarter. In front, 18-9. Less than 4 minutes away from hoisting the Atlas Cup. Charlotte North gets inside, shot not on target. That's maybe the only strange thing about today's performance is Charlotte North maybe not quite like herself today. You mentioned she was 7 for 7 last night. It feels she's something like 1 for 5 here today.
You know, what's great is Team USA has a ton of players who can put the ball into the back of the net. As we see Erica Evans, a veteran for Team Canada, putting goal number 10. Canada's hit double digits. That's, you know, a positive and a plus in the right direction. Their last game when they played, and it was against Haudenosaunee, they put up 13 points against them. Not as many as you would expect.
Well, it's the second time we've seen this. This time, Allie Kennedy. And boy, that is tough. Erica Evans, second goal of the game, her 8th goal of the weekend. She was a national champion in 2019 when she played at the University of Maryland. She has tons of experience with the senior team for Canada. Gold at the World Games in 2022, part of the roster again this year. She played at the Box Championships last year. As they are checking right now on Baxter again. This is just, I mean, brutal to see for Maddie Baxter to go through this twice now. Sean Williams praised her grit. She is obviously very tough. Clearly, they're putting her through all the protocols, making sure she's okay. Baxter back up on her feet. Whew.
Such a tough, gritty player for Canada. This is obviously going to be a second red card for Team USA.
That's something you'll have to think about too, right? Like, obviously today, it's probably not going to factor into what the outcome of this game is going to be, but you got to make sure you remain in control of your shooting and being aware of where players are, because if you get 2 red cards, say, in the first half of a close game, we talked about, if this is an 11-player roster, you're asking a lot, particularly in maybe an Olympic tournament where you're doing everything in the span of a week.
That's right. And I had mentioned earlier that I thought Team USA was in what would have traditionally been shooting space, so it's a walling call.
Mm-hmm.
And Canada didn't take the shot. Now, twice we've seen Team USA take the shot, and I'm not saying that Maddie Baxter was in that walling position, but it is on the onus of the shooter to always just hold possession. If you're unsure, just be safe and pull that ball out again. Team USA does such a good job of moving the ball well and shooting in tight that they don't have to rely solely on outside shooting.
Shot clock violation. Evans trying to get a 4th after she had just added her 3rd on the previous possession. It stays with Team Canada. Ticking towards 2 minutes to play in this fourth quarter. Team USA has led throughout. They raced out to a big first quarter lead. Got it all the way out to 7-1. Haven't looked back from there. Canada will take a timeout. Everyone this weekend, we all, the knowns, right, with Team USA, the players that we know are stars that are a factor. Who else is starting to show themselves to you as someone that you think is a factor moving towards 2028? Someone else on the roster that you're saying, I think this is a player that's got a really good chance of keeping themselves in the picture with the national team.
For Team USA?
Yeah.
I mean, besides a Chloe Humphrey, a young up-and-comer, I like the fact that we're seeing a new face in Anna Brandt. I think Ellie Macera is just one of those consistent players. She's also young. She's now an assistant coach at the collegiate level, but had her opportunity and was outstanding at the World Games in China. You know, we see more of her in between the goal play, not necessarily scoring as many as she did. She was one of the leaders in China. But again, that just kind of goes to show Team USA has so many players.
It's unbelievable.
So many players.
And as we keep talking about, there's still 3 more years for more and more players to get themselves into the conversation. Out of the timeout. Team USA, of course, playing player down still because of the penalty, and Taylor Moreno says, okay, I'll handle it then. Got you guys.
Marino, so tough in the goal.
Ahead to Brandt. Brandt working 1-on-3, decides she doesn't like that math, gives it up to Apuzzo. U.S. trying to kill off the rest of this penalty. Macera, the in-home. Apuzzo down to Humphrey. That'll be the shot clock expiration, but again, they're okay with that. Just trying to get 30 more seconds off the penalty and take a little bit closer to hoisting the Atlas Cup. And there was a green card that came out. I missed that, Courtney. So even smarter for Team USA. They get all the time off the clock and they keep the ball.
So things are going to be even, 4v4. Curious to see if Team USA uses to take the more open space. Obviously, less players on the field, more space to have to create offensively.
Peroni will serve the penalty. Team USA dominant throughout. Been an awesome performance. We'll go 3-0 hosting the Atlas Cup. The dangerous shot penalty will come up. Macera will get back out on the field. So now Team USA warming up for a few seconds here. Macera underneath. Oh, trying to go in one motion. Kenzie Kent didn't even want to bother catching it. She just wanted to sweep it home, push it into the goal. Not able to get it on target. And another green card. Team USA will maintain possession here in the final minute. The push goes against Kylie Dobson.
Penalty on Canada.
And so now it's 5-on-3.
What did begin as an advantage after that red card for against Team USA, somehow Canada on the flip side is now down to themselves.
There's been a three-player swap in the advantage. And now the first of those 2 Canadian penalties is up, so it's back to 5-on-4 here. And Team USA not forcing anything, obviously, in the final minute. Inching closer to victory. Up top, Macera thought about a step down, switches it to the opposite side. Charlotte North, it was saved. So stays with Team USA, new 30 seconds. And they could hold this and celebrate if they so chose, but I think they're gonna try to add one more. The push shot from Humphrey won't go. So they'll give it back, but with just 17 seconds remaining. It was Team USA early. It was Team USA often in this one. Evans loses it. Child picks it up. Humphrey not giving up on it. She doesn't care. There's only seconds left in the game. That's how it's going to come to a close. Team USA, your Atlas Cup champions, 18-11. They defeat Canada to wrap up their weekend here in Sparks. What a performance, Courtney. What a dominant effort from start to finish for the Americans. Everything, for the most part, other than a couple of penalties, everything going their way, really clicking in all phases of the game.
And they just look like a seasoned team who is made for the sixes. We talk about the keepers that they have to be able to stand on their head, and they do, but every single one of those players has the speed, the athleticism, the skill, and the unselfishness, which is what you have to be in the game of sixes. Unselfish, yet disciplined. And Team USA, time and time again, has just proven that dominance.
They were unbelievable to start this game. we are going to offer a congratulations to Chloe Humphrey, who has been named the Atlas Cup Titan Award winner. She finishes the weekend with 10 goals over the course of 3 games. Chloe Humphrey, she's just a sophomore in college, Courtney. She's out here winning the Titan Award at the Atlas Cup.
Red shirt sophomore, red shirt
That's
sophomore.
Fair. That's fair. All right.
But no player that young has been able to do it at kind of all levels.
It's unbelievable. Watching her play, seeing how good she is, and seeing how much better she might still get, which is crazy to think about, Courtney.
She works outside of practice. She works a lot on her own. I was lucky enough to call the quarterfinal game for UNC, and she was out there before and after each practice.
Wow.
Just not stopping.
There are your final standings for the women's division here at the Atlas Cup. Team USA finishes a perfect 3-0, Canada 2-1. And I think that's backwards. Haudenosaunee actually went 1-2. Puerto Rico went 0-3 for the weekend after Haudenosaunee won earlier today. We're taking a look at our highlights from this one, and you're seeing this was the well-oiled machine that Team USA was to start this game. They were dominant from the get, jumped out to that 7-1 advantage, and Canada just seemed kind of shell-shocked through that first quarter, Courtney. They played better as the game went on, but they were never able to recover from what happened to them in quarter number 1.
You know, it's hard to come back from such a large deficit. We did see them battle and score in bunches a couple of times, 2 and 3 goals, but it was almost too little, too late. I did think their play improved in the second half. So the more that Canada has time to get together and gel and figure out their personnel, the better they will be, because sixes is so similar to box. And Team USA shows that if you put the time in, you do the work, good things can happen. Atlas Cup champions, Team USA.
Delana Williams with a solid effort in defeat for Canada. That was the first of her 3 goals. As on the turf, she swept that ball home in the closing seconds of the first half. She would get 2 more. Canada put together a slight run, used a 2-minute penalty, scored 3 goals, had a little momentum. But Team USA snuffed that out quickly, and what a balanced effort it was for the Americans, led by Marie McCool with those 4 goals, hat trick for Allie Kennedy. I mean, they weren't even counting on Charlotte North or Izzy Skane in this game. This was a balanced effort in a big win.
That's the bright spot about Team USA. It is not about any one player. They want the ball to move quickly by design. They know that there's a lot of legendary players on their team, but Team USA is not about the me, it's about the we. I cut for you, I want to set you up, let's work together, and that was super evident in their play.
And, of course, Chloe Humphrey moving into that legendary status at this point already very early on in her career. She is authoring moment after moment as she continues to make history. We're going to have Foss chat, I assume, with Chloe Humphrey here in just a minute. Team USA players making their way over, however, for the trophy presentation on the opposite side of the field. And so they're getting ready to hoist the trophy. They're getting ready to celebrate that. The Capelli player of the game for today's game is Marie McCool. Marie McCool led the way with 4 goals in the U.S. effort. She is our Capelli player of the match for the championship win. Team USA defeating Canada. Courtney, your biggest takeaways from this weekend, from all 4 teams that we saw here on the women's side of the Atlas Cup?
Obviously, dominance from Team USA. Canada, you know, we see bright spots. Puerto Rico, I was really impressed with their athleticism that they showed on the field. Obviously, this final standings, that should be flipped. Canada in the spot for Puerto Rico. Haudenosaunee showed that they can just bounce back after having such a tough month in terms of losses to their community. And I thought they worked really well together. The goaltending, outstanding. Every single team. They just have goalies who can step in, take shot after shot, and make some big-time saves.
So that's going to do it for the women's portion of the tournament. The U.S. capturing the Atlas Cup. Coming up next, the Canadian men will look to claim the Atlas Cup for themselves. We will have that for you. Mitch Belisle, Mitchell Pelkey will join me in just a few minutes. Courtney Martinez-Connor, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for hanging out with us this morning. Thank you to Foss for all of her hard work and her entire crew. Again, your final score for this one, Team USA defeats Canada to claim the Atlas Cup 18-11. We've got the Canada men looking to claim their own coming up next. You're watching the USA Lacrosse YouTube channel and the Atlas Cup.